will be a live chicken. Valid till the 19th of June. We are open 365 days a year while stocks last. T's and C's apply.
This is Sabahul Muslim.
Well, all eyes will be on South Africa in August when the 15th BRICS summit is to take place. That is, if South Africa is able to avoid the headache of what to do with Russia's Vladimir Putin by asking China to rather host this year's BRICS. Now, joining us on the line, we have Dr. Sizo Nkala, research fellow at the University of Joburg Center for Africa-China Studies, who wrote an op-ed in which he makes the statement that the upcoming BRICS summit could potentially accelerate the creation of a new world order. Dr. Nkala, thank you for your time. Good morning and welcome to Radio Islam International.
Thank you for having me and good morning to your listeners.
So when you talk about potentially creating a new world order, are you talking about the expansion of BRICS? We know that there are a number of countries that want to join, and it seems like Argentina and Iran are likely to join as soon as the next summit.
Yes. I'm talking about the number of countries that are likely to join. As you correctly mentioned, Argentina and Iran are in front of the queue, having submitted formal applications to join the group. So these two countries, I think they have immense geostrategic value in terms of their geopolitical location or geostrategic location. Also in terms of the resources that they possess, the substantial oil reserves that they have, their sizable economies that they control. Sorry. And of course the sizable populations that they have. So they bring to BRICS immense strategic value. But beyond the addition of new members to BRICS, I think the issues at stake are the issues that BRICS has been speaking on and mobilizing the global South on. Issues like de-dollarization, issues like the reform of global institutions like the IMF, the World Bank, and the UN Security Council, and then the current Russia-Ukraine war. So all those issues and BRICS pronunciations on them, they are likely to affect the global order going forward.
Take us back. How did BRICS come into existence in the first place, and how have things evolved over the years?
Well, BRICS is a group that was created in 2009 by emerging markets or emerging economies. So it comprised firstly of four countries. That was Brazil, Russia, India, and China. South Africa was added to the group in 2010. Attended its first summit in 2011, I think. So it was formed upon the realization that the global order or the global system, especially the international financial system, the international trade system, wasn't working exactly to the advantage of the global South. It was biased towards the global North and the industrialized countries. So BRICS was formed with the aim or with a view to reforming that international system so that it becomes equitable, just and fair, especially towards the global South countries, particularly Africa, Asia, and Latin America.
So what's the criteria in terms of applying for membership? We understand that Argentina and Iran have formally done so. Other countries have expressed interest. What formula, what criteria would they be using?
Well, BRICS currently doesn't have a hard and fast formula or criteria for determining who becomes a member. I think it's discussions held by the BRICS members themselves and their preferences at the time. But I would imagine that maybe the level of economic development of a country, the country's geostrategic value or location would count more in determining who becomes a member in the group.
How are they likely to deal with competing interests? So on the one hand, Iran is soon to join. On the other hand, Saudi has expressed interest, and we know about the political relationship between those two.
Well, I think it comes at a very, opportune moment because it comes at a time when Saudi Arabia and Iran are now closing ranks. They have re-established diplomatic relations, and they seem to be willing to work together in the Middle East region. So I think them being part of the same group and having recently rekindled their diplomatic relations, it works to the advantage of BRICS.
So, how much of clout will they actually have now? Let's say Argentina and Iran join in August. Going forward, other countries are expressing interest. You're still going up against the heavyweights. We know perhaps the US in particular is not as powerful as it once was. The dollar is under pressure. You can see China growing in stature all the time. We can see China supporting Russia in this whole Ukraine thing. Is this a long-term initiative that will create a new world order, or will we likely see it sooner rather than later?
Well, I think it's a long-term initiative. Creating an alternative world order is not easy. It comes with immense difficulties. But the addition of Argentina and Iran, I think it moves the group forward in terms of its aims of creating an alternative world order. By maybe first, these countries hold immense, some of the largest oil reserves in the world. So I think they add to the energy security of the BRICS countries and the global, the broader global south. They are important countries in their regions. Iran is important in the Middle East. Argentina is important in Latin America. So I think they will add like important voices in terms of representation and inclusiveness in the BRICS group. Because to create a new world order, you will need a more inclusive, approach and a more representative grouping that would be legitimate and speak on behalf of the global south.
Dr. Sizwe Nkala, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, let's see how this will play out. The discussion around BRICS in recent weeks has all been centered around whether Putin will attend or not. Now it's about whether Argentina and Iran join and who else is likely to join, and whether